Hi, here we will discuss generic method in Java programming. The generic method is allowing the user to use any type of parameters, any data type of parameters, but generally we can use the type variable t inside the as angle bracket, or we can use e inside the angle bracket to represent the any data type of that elements. Right, the scope of these parameters only we can use inside the method, because here we are going to use the method. So the variables here what we are using acting as a local variables inside the method, so local variables cannot be accessed outside the method. And also we can use static method and non-static methods as a generic method. The syntax is given, type parameters can be given inside the angle bracket, then return type can be used either int or void, etc. Then method name can be given, then list of parameters can be given here with any type, right? So then inside the curly braces we can write any number of statements as per the user's requirement. Now example is given. The type parameter e is given inside the angle bracket, then void is the return type, display is the method name, then elements given in this parameter. So element is the variable, this one is the type parameter, then here also type parameter we are using, and the variable is using as a data. The simple example is given as a main class, and the show array is the method name, return type is void. Then this is the type variable I am using this type variable I am accessing the elements as a argument. Now from the elements I am accessing the values one by one using for each loop. The data type of this one is e, which is given already in the method signature itself. Now I am printing the elements one by one by leaving the space. This is just leaving empty line inside the main method. Here I am declaring integer array which is storing 5 elements. The integer data type is wrapper class data type. Likewise, I am defining one more array character data type which is storing 6 elements. Now I am going to display the elements which are available in the integer array by calling the method show array. Show array is calling the method, right? Show array is available here. Then integer array which is carrying 5 elements. The data is passing over the data variable is elements. Type is any type. That's what the usage of generic method. Any data type variable can be accessed here. In this context, integer is the data type here we are using. So integer data is displaying one by one by using the for each loop. So var is the variable which is accessing the elements which are stored in this elements. Elements is the argument. We are getting the values 1, 2, 5, 79, all are receiving through this argument. Now we are printing all the lines by leaving the space between each element by using for each loop. Then you see I am using the same method to pass character values. Here I am calling once again the character values. Here the character values are passing when this method is invoking. In this context, v I t hyphen a p, these are the elements passing over this control. And when we are invoking the method show array, then now these elements are taking character data type. Previously it was taken the data type is integer, now it is taking character. That is the main purpose of the generic method with type parameters, now which is printing the values, all the values available from the character array data, I mean variable, which are stored in this elements, then which are accessing through this var using the for each loop. So here we are observing that any data type parameter can be passed using the show array method, because it is a generic method we defined here using the type variable. And one more example is given. This example is just the same thing. We are taking the user defined input during the runtime. I am using the scanner class, then enter the number of applicants, which is taking input 3 applicants as a input. Then I am receiving the data. Here string array is defined by passing the string length is here 3 we are receiving here as of this line. So 3 is the n value. Now I am entering the names as input, 3 number of names. I am entering Anand, Jay, Alan. So 3 inputs I am receiving by using the for loop. Now I am just displaying the name list statement. Then I'm calling the display method by passing the a. What is a here? A is here the values which are stored by using the scanner statement. We have stored these 3 values, Anand, Jay, Alan. So these are the values going to be passing to the display method. So inside the display method we are passing the string data type value. So here string is the data type, then values here we are getting in the name of elements. So all these 3 elements, okay, the 3 names. Now the names are passing to the variable here var, then which is printing one by one by using the for each statement. After this, here you see I am using integer array with n value is 3. So now this object variable is b. For this I am entering the integer as input. So 3 inputs I am receiving by using the scanner class object. So 3 inputs here I am receiving 2, 4, 1. This 2, 4, 1 is receiving now in the name of object variable b. Now b is having 3 values. Then I am passing this b 2, 4, 1 to the display method. Initially we have carried Anand, then Jay and Alan in this display statement. Same method which is taking previously string data type, here now it is taking integer values. So now this display method is receiving the integer values in the second display method when you are calling display of b, then which is carrying these elements, integer elements, then which are passing over here into the elements. Then these values are printing now one by one. We are using the variable var, so which is printing first time 2, then leaving some space, then again for each loop is incrementing, then 4 is printed, then leaving some space, then again incrementing, then 1 is printed, so that is printed here. Then now elements are over in the array, so then it is coming out of the for each loop. After this there is no statements, it is coming out of the program. So like this we can use the generic method to carry any data type parameters, depends upon the context. Okay, so that is the usage of generic method in Java program. Now we are going to see generic constructor. So constructor is also a method, but the method is having the name with name similar to the class name. Okay, method name is method name similar to class name. That is the constructor procedure. Now generic constructors are using with generic methods because method is having the same name as class name. Now user can use the generic constructors through non-generic class. Non-generic class in the sense normal class. Okay, constructor does not have return type. The return type in the sense void or integer. So these return types will not be having in the constructor. Now type parameter is placed after the public keyword and before its class name. Okay, so like this you see after here we are using the class name is the manager, then I am defining obj is the object variable string data type, then I am defining the constructor with type variable. Okay, generic constructor. So class name and method name both are similar, then type variable has to be entered after the public keyword. So after the public keyword I am giving the type parameter before the class name. Okay, class name is the constructor name. So in between the public keyword and the constructor name we have to use the type parameter. Then I am passing the variable some argument. The type is here what we are entering as a type parameter here. Then just it is taking the value whatever we are passing and it is converting into the string value and store in the object parameter. The constructor can be invoked by passing any data type as a parameter. That's what given here, you see. So here type parameter we are using, so it can pass any type of the parameter since we are using type variable here. So based upon that, the constructor is defined in the name of manager. Just we are using display method inside the class name to display the value which is available in the variable obj. Then I am using the driver class to define the main method. Then inside the main method, you see I am calling the constructor, invoking the constructor by passing any type of the parameter. Here I am passing string data type value. Okay, string data type value Kevin. So this is storing in the m1. So what will be happen, control is passing to the constructor manager, so which is receiving Kevin as a value. Then that value is converting into the string and store in the obj. Now Kevin is the value in the obj. Then I am calling m1.display. So here in this place m1 is having the value Kevin. Okay, now this display is carrying that value and just printing the value Kevin. So that's what here you look at that, which is printing the value Kevin. Then one more time I'm calling the constructor, right, by passing integer value. So this is integer value as a argument. Now this is carrying, this object is carrying 1 2 3 4 5 6 as the argument value. Then this value is passing inside the obj, that is converting into the string now. So now this is converted into the string. Okay, then that is stored in the obj. Then I am calling, so now what is the value of m2? M2 value is 1 2 3 4 5 6 string, because we converted that into the string. Now we are calling the display method by passing this 1 2 3 4 5 6. So obj is printing 1 2 3 4 5 6. So here what we should observe, we are using the generic methods. That means this generic method carrying the argument value any data type. First I am passing string data type, then second time I am passing integer data type. Like this, if you want to pass any data type, float, character, double, you can use this methods as a generic data type. That is the thing. And another one example is given here, generic constructor class name, the method name is also generic constructor. So both method name similar to the class name, that is called constructor. Then I am using the data type to define the constructor. Here previously I used simply here type variable. Okay, here I am using parent child relationship, that is inheritance, any type variable which is extending the number. What is the number here? Number is the generic class. Here we are having which is having different hierarchy. One is integer class, and another one is float class, and another one is character class. Then three more are there, boolean, then byte, and one more is there. So here boolean, byte, character, integer, these are the data types. So now using these data types, here we can use any type variable. So it is carrying any object, any data type object value, right? So simply here I am using the double value. So when you are invoking the double value, this t is acting as a double data types. Yes, one more is double, right? So when you are using double value method, then this T is invoking the double class from the parent class number. Okay, double is the child. These are all the child classes to the parent class number. Okay, so that is the relationship in the hierarchy. Now suppose if you are using here int value, then automatically this T is acting as a integer data type variable. So that is the thing here. You are going to use this type of declaration T extends number. Number is the parent, then any child class can be used as a type variable. Now I am using the show method, just it is displaying the value what we are storing in this context. Now I am defining the driver class main and main method. Here the constructor is invoking 555 is the integer we are passing and store in the test value. So once this is invoking, control is passing to this method. Now you see which is carrying the integer data. Since it is carrying integer data here, automatically this will acting as a int value. So here it is int value, integer is carrying here 555. Then here we are using double value. We are not using integer value. Since it is using double value, this type variable is automatically invoking double data type, double extends number, then which is printing the value here. So double automatically converted like this, then that is stored in the test.show is here val variable value. So the val variable value is here 555.0 because double we are using, then which is printing the value 555.0. That's what we are getting the input here. You see 555.0, right? Then again I am calling the constructor here by passing the floating point value here. In this context which is carrying 15.25 f, then floating point value which is carrying, even though we are carrying floating point value here, double value method is used, so automatically which is extending the double child class. Then now which is storing the 15.25 value, then which is displaying the 15.25 when you are calling this method. That's what displaying here. So generic method can be declared by extending the parent class with the type variable. That is also one of the method here. Thanks for watching.